So, so far we have done like all the tabs discussion along with the visualizations discussion we have done. As part of Power BI desktop, we left over with the data sources and edit queries options and a file menu options. Now we are going to start with the data sources. How to work with the different data sources. So not to understand that one, so we are going with this flow. We are going to understand how to work with that Excel. We already know that Excel are a text file and SQL server. Then after, how to create that Azure subscription, how to work with Azure data warehouse, the data lake and data factory. It is a high level introduction I am going to cover over here. What is data factory, what is data lake, and what is Azure data warehouse. Azure data warehouse and SQL server same will be there. So we are going to see that one. And then after, table says dev with Azure. Then after DAX, security will be covered. So with that, the data sources will be completed. I am not going to work any other data sources called Oracle or Teradata or MySQL. So people, if you are from that backgrounds, as you are aware of how to install the tools and how to configure that one, you can connect it. As part of a class, I will showcase how to connect with Excel, the text file, SQL server, Azure data warehouse, or you can consider it as Azure SQL, or SSAS complete thing, the development part along with Azure deployments, Azure processing and everything, and a DAX and a security. These are the things that we are going to cover. Now, 45 minutes. We'll start with Azure subscription, and then after, what is Azure data warehouse, Azure data lake, data factory discussions. Why? Because I cannot wait another 5 to 10 minutes of time to connect to my mission to showcase SQL server. So now, Azure concept, which is nothing but cloud computing. So cloud computing from a Microsoft perspective. So cloud computing means it contains three things: infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. Even it might be Salesforce, or it might be Azure, or it might be any other vendor. Cloud computing means it contains mainly three things: infrastructure, or a platform, or a software as a service. Now, Azure contains these three things together. Azure is nothing but Microsoft Cloud Computing, which is providing infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. Our Power BI service is nothing but a software as a service. They developed a software and they are giving as a service for every month for $10. Now, in order to work with, there are many Azure related services are there where you don't need to buy a license. Okay, you don't need to buy a license, you don't need to purchase the servers, you don't need to purchase the softwares. Everything you need to pay for a rental basis. That might be a remote machine, that might be a software, that might be anything, that might be a service. So you don't need to purchase anything. Based on your requirement, you are going to take it for a rent. How much you use, for that only you need to pay. That is what cloud computing. Now, in order to work with, what are the different services which are available with Azure? Or in order to use them, you require an Azure subscription. You need an Azure account, so that You can create whatever you want or you can consume whatever you want. First of all, Azure contains what are all the things are nothing but so here this is an Azure portal. Whenever you click on a new, you are able to see that there are different categories and each category has a separate functionality like compute. You have all these servers are there and networking and storage. When it comes to storage, we have different types of storage are there. Azure file or like blob storage, file storage, table, data lake store, and here web and mobile. There are different mobile applications are there. So for that, this one and databases, SQL database, SQL data warehouse, and Azure database for MySQL, Azure database for Postgres. So cloud-based environment they are providing. Even if you are having data as part of MySQL, you can store it on a cloud. Even if you have data in Postgres, you can store it on a cloud, Azure cloud. So recently, like 2 or 3 days back, these are came, and Cosmos DB, which is nothing but a document DB we used to call, which is nothing but NoSQL people used to call. Okay, MongoDB we used to have, right? That MongoDB or a document DB, here it is a Cosmos DB and Data Factory. So there are lot of things are there where those things you don't need to purchase the license or you don't need to purchase the software or you don't need to purchase a server. Whatever you want, you can sign up here and you can create here, and how much you used for that you need to pay. So there are a lot of things are there with respect to Azure. In order to use it, you require an Azure subscription. So in order to create Azure subscription, you have two options are there. So whatever you are going to work, let's assume I said I'm going to teach like Azure data warehouse. Azure data warehouse, if you click on it, for each and every service there that you saw, we have an option called free account. Create a free account, but you need to pay your provide credit card details. They will not charge anything, but you need to provide. So create a previously it's a 1 month, now it is a 12 months free. Okay, they will give you $200 credit, and that will be used for a 12 months of time. But you need to pay, like you need to provide your credit card information. They will not charge you anything unless you accept it. So click on start free. As I already logged here, it is showing that boss you already logged in. Fine. So now, as I said, you have a lot of services are there. In order to consume that services, you need to create an Azure subscription, and in order to create an Azure subscription. As I said, you need to go to the corresponding Azure portal page, whatever the service that you want to use, and you need to click on the create a free account and click on start free. And you need to provide your Outlook email ID, and you can continue further. So after creation of your account, like as I said, you need to provide your credit card details also. Once you create an account, you will be logged into your Azure portal by showcasing that boss, it's a 12-month period and you have this much credit available. Then after you can come here and you can create it. Okay. So I will share the detailed documentation how to create your Azure subscription today as a document. So please follow it and let me know if you are facing any issues. Okay. So that is what how to create an Azure subscription. I will send a mail. Once you create it, you are going to see this kind of window. From here, what we are going to do, we'll understand now. Here, once you logged in as part of Azure portal, as I said, there are a lot of services will be there. Based on our requirement, we are going to create that service and we are going to use that service. Now, based on our requirement, we are going to create a services. Here, in order to group the services together for a specific project. So I said, once you logged in Azure portal, based on your requirement, you can create many services. Even I create services. Someone also going to create a services. In order to make them managed properly, we have a concept called a resource group. We have a concept called a resource group. A resource group is nothing but a logical grouping. In a database concept, however, you have a schema is there. By default, DBO schema, and based on your requirement, you are going to create a multiple schemas, right? In the same way, instead of creating everything in a single place, first you need to create a resource group. Under that resource group, you can add whatever the resources that you want. So that if some new person comes and he need to work on that project, you need to provide the access on a resource group. So that this guy can able to consume all the resources which are available under that resource group, which are added as part of that resource group. That is what the main concept. Resource group is nothing but it's a logical grouping of resources in order to organize in a better way. If you don't have a resource group, everything will be available in a single place. If a person comes and he want to work on a specific project, you need to manually provide the access of all the resources. Instead of that, Azure suggests we need to use a resource group. We must use a resource group. So once you logged in Azure portal, and whenever you try to create any data warehouse or something, now you can see the databases. Whenever you try to create a data warehouse or a database, it will ask you, boss, what is the database name? Database name as that is my intention, like my own thing I can give. And subscription, boss, from which account I need to take the money? If you are keep on using, like as I said, it is a rental base, right? So which subscription I need to use? I can. Then after, which resource group that I need to map this data warehouse? You need to specify one resource group. If you say that, boss, I will not use any resource group, means it will not allow you. You must select create one fresh resource group, or you need to use an existing resource group. So all the resources that you are creating in Azure must be tagged or linked under one resource group. A resource group is nothing but a logical grouping of resources. That is what the first point that you people need to remember. Second point, first one is creating a subscription. Second one is whenever you are creating any service, that might be like all three things are together will be available here. So whatever the service that you are creating, that must be belongs to any one of the resource group, or you need to create a new resource group. That is the second point. Now resource group will be created. Then after now we are going to work on Azure data warehouse. What is Azure data warehouse? How to create that one and how to use that one, we are going to understand. As I said, you need to create an Azure subscription, and then after once you log in here, you will be able to see you can create with the help of a plus icon. You can create a new object, new resource. As part of that, if you need to create Azure data warehouse under databases, you have a SQL data warehouse option is there. Click on it. Whenever you select that one, it will ask you what is the database name that you want. You need to tell, like you need to provide your data warehouse name. Power BI demo is specified. And subscription, as I said, what subscription, from which subscription you want to pay. You already provide with a one subscription, you created one subscription, that subscription will come here. Here, for this subscription I have an access, that's why I selected here. Resource group, you want to create a new resource group or existing resource group. So resource group, like you can create a new one. Whenever you are creating a new one, it will ask you what name you wanted to give, and I am using the existing one. And then after a database you are creating, what kind of database that you want to create. You want to create a blank database, or you want to take a backup from somewhere, or you want to create with any sample database. I am selecting a sample. Whenever you select a sample, it was provided with AdventureWorks DW. That was a sample that was available with them. And then after, on what server you wanted to create this data warehouse. I have one server is already created, that's why it is showcasing that option. And if you want, you can create your own server. You need to create a server, you need to provide the server name here, and what is the username and password for it you need to select. I don't have a permission over here to create it, like it's my organization one. I don't have the permission on this resource group. Another resource group, another subscription I have, but I cannot connect to that SQL server. So that's why I'm not creating, but you can create. So once you provided database name, subscription, resource group name, and what kind of database that you want, then after you need to provide the server. On what server you want to create this database, a data warehouse. So at that time, you can select the list of servers that you have, or you people are going to create freshly, right? You don't have anything. At that time, you need to specify one server name. Automatically, the server path will come. Then after, for that server, who is like what is the admin username and password, you need to create it. Okay, so that by using these credentials, you can connect to that server. So for now, I am using the server which I already have. The server admin login. So so these are the credentials of a person who created that server, and we are using, as we are using that server, we are using the same. And performance tier. Performance tier is nothing but This one as I opened. Yes. Performance style is nothing but, so here this DW400 is there. If it is more, it will be provide a more performance. Okay, the compression and all the techniques it is going to use, but for a practice purpose we don't require that much. So you need to select what kind of compression that you wanted to use, and then after create. That is getting created. It's getting created. It's still creating. For you people it will not take much time. Here the servers are available on some other region. Now many questions?
No, sir.
Fine.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, this Hari, yeah, I have gone to these steps what you did about Azure database, data
Mm.
warehouse.
Mm.
So you must and should provide the credit card details now.
You need to provide credit card details, but that is going to verify your authentication, but it is not going to charge anything from you. You can go ahead. Yeah.
Because I have given with logged with Outlook mail and PAN card details each and everything that is I have given.
Okay.
After that phone verification, the next one is that card verification.
Hmm.
So that's why I want to check it once.
You need to give.
Okay.
Yeah.
So without giving, it will not proceed. No?
It will not.
Okay.
Chinobu, share me your email ID. It is deploy. It is deploying, and meanwhile I am connecting to my machine. Just give me 1 more minute of time.
Can I have a question?
Yes.
Uh, Completely installing the server or only database server in this case?
We are not installing anything.
Actually, you're creating on database, right?
Hmm.
So while install, so this is first time you are doing. That case is completely installing the SQL all Windows and Windows after that the SQL, right?
I didn't understand your question, sir.
I'll helping you.
No, wait 1 second. So Azure SQL and Azure Data Warehouse as a platform as a service, PaaS. So which is nothing but these are install these are the physical servers somewhere which are available, and there we are creating our own servers and our own data warehouse. Now in this context I already have a server there which is available on some other location. There I'm just creating a data warehouse. Now go ahead with your question, Shankar Reddy. Okay, fine. It is saying that it was created. Now whatever it is created, that will be available. You can click on go to resource or pin to dashboard. Pin to dashboard means whenever you click on a dashboard, here you will get to see, you can see from here. You can see Power BI AW demo. Or you can go to that SQL data warehouses, and here you can see AW demo. Data warehouse was created. Now if you click on it, it is giving you some options: load data, and open in a Visual Studio, open in a Power BI, and Data Explorer. Monitoring and scale all are admin related things, we don't need to worry at all. So a database is created on this server. On this server a data warehouse was created, and that name is this one. This is the data warehouse name, this is the server name that was created. Now to check whether it is created or not, mhm, can see that this is the server that I created, and you are not able to see the database that we created. Refresh it. You are able to see that sorry, the Power BI ADW demo. There is a data warehouse is there, and you can see the tables with the tables and the views and whatever the program will do, like if you have any procedures, functions, everything will be there. By default, you are provided with that ADW like AdventureWorks data warehouse, so that you can practice your Power BI with these tables. No need to wait for creation of tables and everything. So why it came is we selected a sample database as ADW like AdventureWorks. Now the first point, we created Azure data warehouse by creating a new and selecting a sample database and providing a server name. So what you people need to do is you people need to copy this server name and go to your SQL server and provide this as a server name, and whatever the server at the time of creating a server, you have an option called the server admin name, username and password, right? So those credentials you need to give in order to connect with a SQL server. So whenever you are connecting, you are able to see the username and password providing, right? So you need to provide your server and the username and password that you given, and then after you need to connect. Once you connect it, it will be showcased like this. From your SSMS, you can access your Azure data warehouse from your SSMS. SSMS, or what is this window? Like if someone coming from a Tableau or other backgrounds, first of all, what is this? This is nothing but SQL Server Management Studio. It is a user interface by using which you can connect to that SQL databases or Azure databases, whatever. If you want this one, I will give. It is not mean if you want. I will give the software links today. Download them and install them. I will give you how to install that procedure also today and tomorrow. So once you are done with your installation, you are going to get this management studio. Then after, you can connect the server that you created by providing the server name, username and password. Once you connected, you are able to see the databases or data warehouses that you created. That is the first thing. Azure data warehouse is created. You will be able to access from your SSMS. And now, whatever you are doing here, the storage will be on a cloud. If I create a one table, 'I created a table, and the table whatever I created, that is created on cloud server, not on our machine. It was created on this server. This server is available in some other region. Just a second. Okay. So it was, this data warehouse is available on some other server that is available on another region. There your table is getting created, and even if you insert some data, one second. record was inserted, everything, the tables, objects, data, whatever you created, everything is on cloud. Now it is just a user interface. In order to access your cloud database SSMS, you are going to use it, that's it. And you can write a queries, you can insert the data, you can do all the operations by using SSMS. The next thing is, here once you connected, everything is as similar to normal database only, everything you can do it. And now the next one is, here you have some options are there. Data Explorer. If you want to query from here itself, what is the use of a cloud? Cloud is nothing but you can access from anywhere. For that reason only, right? One of the reason also that. So I am at some location. I wanted to query my database. Okay, so I am not in my organization. I am not at my desk. I am not in the network. I want to create some table, or I want to retrieve some data from my database. At that time, from Azure portal itself, login. You need to provide that authentication. I am connecting to that server. So once you connected to that server, it is saying that boss, these are the tables that you have. Okay. Now so I return the query, and now you have a run option is there. So whenever I ran it, it is showcasing 10 commas only displaying here. So I can log in from anywhere. I can work on the database objects. But generally, if you are not using Azure, what you need to do? If you are not there as part of a network, you cannot work anything. You need to go on a weekend. You need to provide weekend support, or you need to stay back and you need to work on it. But if you are working on Azure, you can work from anywhere. So, and here I can dump the data also. Here also I can insert the data. I am inserting another record. Okay, I cannot, as I am in a VPN, I cannot copy anything from my machine to here. You can see that the record was inserted, and you can see the two records are getting displayed now, and even you can perform see, you can access from here or there also. So you can write all the queries from in a Azure portal itself with the help of a data explorer, and you have all the tables, views, procedures, or functions, whatever you have, everything is getting displayed there, and you can create and destroy everything from here. Okay, and whatever the query that you written, sorry, whatever the query that you have written, if you want to save it, you can save that query. Whatever the query that you have written, if you want to save it, you can save the query, or if you want to upload any query, you can. If you already saved that query, if you want to load it, you can upload it. If you want to open a new query window, you can open the new query window and running the script, stopping the script, and you can see the results here. If you have any error messages, that message will be available here. Okay, so after a result, if you want to set something, you have this one. In order to log in, in order to provide your authentication, you have login option is there. These are the options available with the Data Explorer in Azure portal of Azure Data Warehouse. So on top of Azure Data Warehouse, you have Data Explorer is there. From there, you can create tables, insert the data, update the data, delete the data, everything you can do there. But within a SQL Server, if you want to use, you have through SSMS, you can connect and you can use them. That is what Data Explorer option. And open in a Power BI is nothing but if you want to access this data set through a Power BI, you can use it. So click on OK. So it is saying that which data warehouse that you want to connect and what is the database. So this is the server name, this is the database name. Click on next. What is the username and password to connect to the server? So I connected it and you can see the data set that must be available here. That is available here. We connected to the data set. Now create a visualization. So you are able to see all the tables which are available there, even our employee table also. You can see the both the people's information is there. So the connected to Power BI is nothing but it is going to provide a live connection with that data set with a Power BI, and then after you can create a visualizations and open in a Visual Studio. This data warehouse, if you want to open in a Visual Studio, so you don't want to do any deployment now, or if you want to open in a Visual Studio, generally in live environment, your SQL Server databases are SSIS, SSAS, SSRS. The developments will be done by using a Visual Studio. Then after we are going to deploy it. So here also, if you want to open your project in a Visual Studio, you have that option is there. So configure a firewall, find, let it open. It will be opened in Visual Studio. There you can write your scripts and you can save the scripts and you can deploy it. Okay. So I think I don't have Visual Studio 2017 license key. My trial was expired, but let it try to load. Yes. Someone has a question? So here, so whenever it is trying to open, from a Visual Studio, it is asking that, boss, what server you are connecting and what is the database, what is the username and a password. Let me give that one. One second. Here the sh. So in order to connect that one, I need to enable the firewall. Your client IP address doesn't have the access to the server. So in Azure portal, so in order to connect to this one, in Azure portal, our IP address need to be added. Okay, as a trusted IP address. And you want to add that one, or let me try. So as I said, I don't have a license key. That's why it is getting stopped. But anyways, for you people, it will be connected and you can access that objects. But anyways, I will try to get my license key by today, and I will showcase from here in the next session. Okay, so it is nothing but like we already connected, that you are able to see. So we already connected to that server, and like on a Visual Studio, how you can access that objects and how you can develop that objects, we are going to see as part of the next session. It's not, we are not going to spend much time there, but as my license key is not there, I will get my license key and I will showcase what are all the things that you can see, which is nothing but on a Visual Studio you can get that objects code, where you can create a new objects also, where you can run it, which will be executed on the Azure server. And then after we are going to see, how to load the data from. You have load data option is there. Let's assume I need to load the data from Oracle or SQL server or any files to Azure data warehouse. How we are going to load, we are going to see it tomorrow. As part of loading data, we are going to use a concept called Azure Data Factory. What is Azure Data Factory and what it can do, how to use that one, we are going to see it tomorrow. So everything, the remaining concept of ADW and Azure Data Factory, we are going to see in tomorrow's session. So up to here, any questions?
Srijit.
Yes, Srijit.
Yeah, after connecting to Visual Studio in Microsoft Azure, would be able to check this into TFS, like, because I am using TFS, I just got an idea, just wanted to ask.
We can add that code to TFS.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a normal script file only, but the server name at the time of deploying, the server name will be different. That's it. Everything is same.
Okay. Fine.
Yeah. Balamurli, go ahead.
You said it is only 2 months period, right, for Power BI server?
Power BI service, it's a 2 months, and that you can extend it for another 3 times, almost 6 months you can use it. For Azure subscription, you can use it for 12 months of time. Yeah.
Can you repeat again why we need this Visual Studio? What we need to do there?
So as part of Visual Studio, we are going to develop the code. See, if you are using Azure portal or if you are using SQL Server, if you need to create a 10 tables, you are going to create a 10 tables and you are going to insert the script. On a later time, if you want the same script, from where you are going to get? So here you are going to create it and you are going to delete it. That's it. Or you are going to save it as a manual files here in a SQL Server or on a Azure. But if you want to organize that code, there you are going to in a Visual Studio you are going to create as a project and you are going to store that code, and that code you are going to reuse it whenever you want.
Okay. We have a limitations, right? So how much space can we use?
There is no limitations with the space. Like in a Power BI you have limitations with the space, but in Azure you don't have limitation with the space. You can use how much you want and they will charge how much you used.
Okay, for 12 months period, it is free only.
So for 12 months you have a 250 credit they will provide, which means the whatever you can use for a 200 USD you can use it. More than that you need to pay if required.
Okay, can we see anywhere how much we are using?
Yes, you can see it. Yeah, like I will show you tomorrow. I will try to create another subscription. So and then after I will showcase everything. Anyone has any questions? People who don't have questions, you can drop. And